Now, after you have adjusted the height, you got to adjust the intonation. Intonation is very simple. In a sense, you take your Phillips screwdriver, unloosen each and every one, all four. Those four have been unloosened. Now you can take a small straight-bladed screwdriver, put it down right between them, and you can move this around. You can move it wherever you want it. And when this is under tension, of course, it might be a little more difficult to move, but the point is, pick the string up and move it aside. To demonstrate that, I have one right here. So if I wanted to raise this string, I'll turn this around. If I wanted to raise, let's say, this string right here, I would simply take my wrench. I can simply pick that up off of that, and I can raise it up, lower it after I've opened up that. If I want to adjust the intonation, I simply will unloosen that, and then I can move this back and forth. And that then will adjust for the intonation. Then you can tighten it down. Okay, so that's the intonation part of it. The string adjustment for width, again, we've already gone through that, but the fact is we can adjust those wherever we want them. Now, the next subject we'll go to is how do we have open string spacing versus closed string spacing. On a 4-string bass here, you can go to right at 700 thousandths to 3/4 of an inch spacing between strings. But let's say you don't want it that much and you want a 5-string. Okay, this same housing, the same plate and everything will take a 5-string spacing. So if in fact you're not sure, if you want to make an investment in a good bridge and you think you might play a 5-string someday, the fact is then you can add on a saddle and a string hook and you can have a 5-string. And the way that works simply is that the cam, which has the set in it, will then add that one in. And as you can see, we'll add this one here in as well. Now we have 5 hooks in. And to add the saddle, we simply can back off this screw, like so. Take our pin out. First of all, we do have to unloosen the backs of these and this. And we will slide this from left to right. From left to right. And then we have our pin right here. Pull this pin out. And we're going to add a saddle. Like so. And the pin goes back in. We can simply screw this in. Like so. Now we have a 5-string bass bridge. 5-string bass bridge right here. Now, with a 5-string bass bridge and 5 hooks, you simply do the same thing. Put these in line, adjust them for the radius the same way we did before, expand it for intonating, and then finally string spacing. Remember again that before you move anything on this saddle, you must unloosen these pivot locks. Otherwise, this isn't going to work very well. And that's the way that works. Now, what we want to show is that you can go from the 5-string closed, which can be a 1/2 inch to about 600 thousandths in spacing here, to a 5-string open spacing like this. Now here we have 2 bass bridges. We have one 5-string in a closed spacing. We have another 5-string in an open spacing. So it all depends on what it is you want. Because this is at like almost 800 thousandths here. And all these are adjusted accordingly, so forth. Now, this particular bridge, now as we go from a 4 and a 5, we go from a 4 open spacing to a number 5 closed spacing. We'll set that aside. Now we have a 5 in an open spacing, and we'll go from that to a 6 closed, more closed spacing. So, and they're all done in exactly the same way and manner that I explained in adjusting the saddle set. That's the way that works. And then eventually, from the 6, we can go into an even wider spacing, which gives us an 8-string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All based on the same theories of saddle adjustment, what we call a rail cam with a dovetail. Rail cam, in this case, double sets of springs on the back for the bigger 6, 7, and 8 strings. And that's the way that works. Now, I'm going to show you how we adjust these springs on the tremolo in regards to the strings that you may have. So, we'll put an arm in here. We'll put that back here. Now we have an arm here in what we'll call a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 6-string tremolo. Now, if you notice, we have to clear the string on this arm. So, if this is a 6-string, this armhole, the arm has to go in here in order to be between the strings. Now, if this was a 5-string tremolo, this arm would be directly in the way. So, what we simply do in using the same rail for the 5-string, we will put it in the outside ID, because this is a 5-string, and we'll simply set this over a bit, and that's where we get a 5-string on that side, or we can do it on the other side, or you can put this in this ID as well. So you have a choice in spacing of 2 armholes. Not only do you have 2 on the right side, but you also have 2 on the left for all you left-handers out there that everybody forgets about. I'm thinking of you because I'm left-handed, okay? So you guys too can have this tremolo on the left-handed side.